Oilers, you got a great offense with Connor McDavid. So I have them sweeping them.
Yeah, well, I don't think you heard my point. The San Francisco Giants have 3 more in the 2010s than the Rangers have in their entire history. So, yeah.
It's hard to get back and to get back-to-back wins, and I don't see the Lightning doing it here, so I have them losing to the Hurricanes in 6.
We don't talk about the 2010s because the 2010s had the Astros, and if the Astros didn't happen, the Yankees would have won in 2017 with the Dodgers.
He was close to Frank Reich, and they want Frank Reich back, so that's what they got. It's their discount Frank Reich.
Kaprizov and the rest of this crew, Jordan Greenway, who doesn't get enough props. He definitely is somebody who needs to be mentioned more.
Hi, this is Julie Dobbs. You're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another NBA Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin. I'm joined by the man. We don't really do back-to-backs like the NBA, Austin.
Yeah, this has been a problem with the NBA for a couple of years now, but this year I think it's really come to light, especially for me, who's someone who's really into the NBA, watched it a lot. I have League Pass, all that other stuff. Kevin, do you know what the schedule looks like this week?
I know the last week it was very on and off because of the NBA Cup. I am not really sure about this week.
So this week there's the as this is recorded, this will be posted on Wednesday. So yesterday was the NBA Cup final. We previewed it. So if you I guess the game had already happened, but as we're posting this, it'd be Wednesday. There's no games on Wednesday. Here's what I don't understand. The NBA decides that, okay, the break day needs to be a day where the NFL and college football really don't have anything going on. That just seems stupid to me. Why wouldn't you make it to where Wednesday was the Cup final and Thursday was the break day, so you did not have to compete with Thursday Night Football in a playoff matchup between the Chargers and Broncos? So I just don't get it. The NBA schedule with, I don't know if you've seen the Christmas games, but the Christmas games don't look good right now. It's I think it's Sixers Celtics. That's going to be a 25-point game if the injuries continue to mount for the Sixers like they have been. There's Spurs Knicks, which should be interesting, but it's not a marquee Christmas game. There's Suns Nuggets. That's happened multiple times on Christmas Day before, and I'm not mad at that at all. I do like when the Suns and Nuggets play each other. I still remember a couple Christmases ago, maybe it was Christmas Eve. Do you remember Aaron Gordon's dunk against the Suns? There's been a lot of highlights about it. It was a pretty big poster.
Sounds very familiar.
It was probably one of the better dunks of the past 5 years. But that dunk happened either Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. It could have happened Christmas Eve, but it was either the night game on Christmas. I think it was the night game on Christmas. So yeah, that one's fine. But then you have Lakers Warriors. Both of the teams are 14-12 versus 14-11. And then you have Timberwolves Mavericks. That's the first game. I enjoy Timberwolves Mavericks. It's a rematch of the Western Conference Final. 76ers Knicks 76ers Celtics don't like. Lakers Warriors is just to get people to watch LeBron versus Curry again. Nuggets Suns, those matchups seem to be interesting. They played each other in the playoffs multiple times now. And then you have Spurs Knicks, which is, I think you're just trying to get Wemby on Christmas Day. Where is Giannis? Where are the Thunder? Where are the Cavs? I was talking to a friend before we recorded this earlier today about how the NFL can flex their Sunday Night Football and all the big games. They can flex those to be the best matchups towards the end of the season. Why do we already know what the Christmas games are going to be? Why can't we flex those to be better matchups for Christmas Day? Because I'm telling you right now, I don't think anyone wants to watch Celtics 76ers. I know I don't. I don't think that it is planned out the best. The game is going to be in Boston, and the Sixers have all these injuries. I just feel like there could be better matchups.
Yeah, I think to answer your question about why it may just be preparing and sort of like how you look at the Christmas games for the NFL, they can't really flex those games. I think it's to promote ticket sales and to get it in advance, but it sometimes doesn't work out. And I think to I don't understand, as you brought up Giannis. Giannis is a consistent thing. Why wouldn't he be on Christmas? You could argue the same thing with the Thunder. In defense of the NBA, I would say they weren't prepared for the Cavs because they were a little surprised that the Cavs were going to be this good. Um, but I do agree, though, on they just don't know how to take advantage of when the NFL is not playing. Because you mentioned the break is on Wednesday, which would have been a prime day to watch some sports before the NFL because you just can't compete with the NFL no matter how good the product is.
Well, it's harder because the NFL has less games, so every game is more important, right? So watching 1 out of 82 is different than 1 out of 17. It just inherently is. There's going to be more people watching the NFL games, but you still could have more viewership over the entirety of the season, right? Because there's going to be more games played, and therefore you should have more viewership. But the NFL knows how to maximize their views for their games in a way that the NBA refuses to do. Again, I think it makes no sense to have the break on Wednesday. I'm cool with a break, but why not have normal games on Monday and then have the normal games on Tuesday, have the NBA Cup on Wednesday, the Cup final, and then on Thursday have your break so that you're not competing with the NBA. Then return on Friday. I don't really understand. They already, I don't know if you know this, but there's not going to be any games. Super Bowl Sunday, there's no NBA games.
Yeah.
Which, that makes sense. But they don't seem like they're planning it around anything else. I struggle to see the thought process in a lot of these decision makes.
Yeah, that you do bring up a good point. I remember there was something they took a day off Saturday and then they put all the games on Sunday, which is just football. And yeah, the NFL is good at marketing their product and scheduling it, but it also is it's too big to where they can ruin it. Where the NBA could, to build up to that, they need to schedule it right and get things done, like you mentioned. And I think just talking about scheduling, is that the NBA just needs to understand how to compete with other sports and how what the NFL does, because the NFL is basically taking over Christmas, where the NBA had done a lot, but like you mentioned, not those games not playing well is not going to be helpful. With the Sixers and Celtics, as you mentioned, because you have the Chiefs playing, you also have Ravens Steelers, so it's just choosing the right matchups, and sometimes you're going to get matchups wrong. Like you brought up, like Sixers Celtics would have been good at the start of the season, but with all the injuries, it's not working out.
Sure, but I feel like some of these games could have still been prevented. I mean, the Warriors and the Lakers were not premier teams coming into the season. Again, that's more about nostalgia and trying to get the matchup between Curry and LeBron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly what that one is.
Yeah. And again, I know it's the NBA Cup final, but why not have, I mean, this game doesn't count for the regular season anyway. Why not have like a Bucks Thunder game? I don't get why the Bucks and Thunder are not on. And the Bucks aren't even the greatest team in the NBA right now. It's just, why wouldn't you have Giannis on Christmas Day? I just feel like that's too easy of a PR decision.
Yeah, I don't understand how you don't have Giannis.
Or the Thunder, who a lot of people expected to be really good this year.
Yeah, that's another thing where the Thunder were in the playoffs. They made a good run in the playoffs, and they just weren't in it. Like, you could have done Thunder Mavs. That could have been good. And then Timberwolves against maybe the Nuggets as well. And then just have the Suns versus Bucks.
And that would be a finals rematch, so that wouldn't be that bad. So I just don't get it. I don't get it. And it seems like they don't understand what the problem is, which is concerning, because I think you made a good point, and that's something that a friend of mine also told me is that the NFL eventually is going to take over Christmas. Not because I don't even think it's because the NFL is the more popular product, but I think it's because the NBA is fumbling Christmas.
It is fumbling Christmas, and I think the NFL saw the potential that the NBA was doing with Christmas, and they thought, "Oh, let's do that." And it presents a different dynamic, I would say, than Thanksgiving, where you are basically there are automatically two teams playing. Christmas, they can make it whatever they want it to be. So you have a little bit more excitement of just teams playing on Christmas. But yeah, I would another thing I would say about the scheduling is also just the back to backs, like I mentioned before, and just sometimes the cross traveling with the NBA. I think there's something that can be fixed with the NBA schedule where we talked about putting the games on certain days, but also I think scheduling play games could be helpful to where it's easier on the players as there are also a lot of injuries this year.
Yeah, I agree. Well, do you think the NBA will learn from this season, or do you think they see it as a success and won't make any changes in the recent future?
I think they will make changes. The NBA is a league to me that is willing to experiment. They've experimented with the All-Star game and they've experimented with the NBA Cup. So I do think they can see something experimenting. But it is just what are they seeing and how will they experiment is the question. I think it would be at least a year or two before they start experimenting with the scheduling.
Okay. And do you think that is something that do you think they'll do it in enough time to save themselves from what can happen with the NFL taking over Christmas or anything like that? Or do you think it's already too much too late?
Uh I It might be too late. I still think the NBA is a good product. It just could be better, but it's just going against the NFL. No one can do that. No sport can do that. Just of where the NFL is right now. And maybe the NBA could do it, but I think it will probably still do on Christmas, but the NFL will just stick with Christmas. So it's really going to be hard for the NBA. So I'll say it's maybe a little bit too late. They just have to adjust.
Okay.
So that is all we have. Do you have any final thoughts? Do you think it's pretty too late for the NBA?
I think we're reaching. I think the sirens are blaring. I think it's getting to a point. The point of no return is coming up soon. I think maybe next year, if it's not fixed, we see it. I don't think people are used to Christmas being an NFL thing just yet. But once people become used to it, that's when we have a problem. If people become used to watching the NFL over NBA on Christmas, then I think the NBA is going to lose I think a big portion of viewership because the fact that you can put all those games there. Think about it. When on a normal night, you have games at 5, 6, 7, 8, wherever you are, and there's a lot of games happening at the same time. No one person, even if you have League Pass, can watch all those games realistically. But on Christmas Day, you have the ability and availability from all of your viewers. If you love the NBA, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, you're watching all the games. You can legitimately just all day, in between meals, just watch all the games. And that's something that you can only do in a couple days during the year. And if they lose out on that viewership to the NFL, that's a problem. So I don't necessarily know if it's this year is the writing's on the wall, but I do think it's coming up soon.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening and be on the lookout for more videos from Outsiders Opinions.